Okay, had we not went into to cowboy chords or open chords at that point, the other way I would have went is to teach more of scales. I'm gonna divert and I'm just gonna talk for a moment. One of the traditional approach to guitar is often to learn scales as they go across a block of the guitar, across a block of frets, like we learned our first pentatonic scale. Remember how we kept our first finger was always on the same fret? For us, we started on the 5th fret, and that first finger always landed on the 5th fret as we went across the strings. That kept us looking at just a block or a segment of the guitar for playing a scale. That's how we do a lot of our scales when we first teach them. Major scale, we keep this idea of 1, 2, 3, and 4 always just relating to the frets all, next to each other. And then we make scales out of that. Our minor scales are very similar as well. The problem that we get into, I find a lot, is that we start looking at the guitar in these blocks, but that doesn't necessarily translate to playing fluidly, to soloing cleanly, and to making fun, easy, fast riffs that allow us to get around the neck of the guitar. So I like to teach the principle of lateral playing. This is going to get, this is one of those areas where we go back and we fill in a lot of information, because we're going to see how as we play a lateral scale, we're passing through a lot of different scale patterns or modes, something else that we'll talk about in the future. But it also allows us to play things that are somewhat complicated in the guitar and make it a lot more simple by looking at simple shapes. You'll hear a lot of guitarists talk about shape playing. There's incredible guitarists that know very little about actual musical theory, but they're fabulous players because they've made a lot of sense out of the fretboard to themselves. They've learned shapes and relative distances from different familiar shapes to conceptualize what's happening on the fretboard and to be able to move around it and play very complicated things cleanly and beautifully. So let's start with this idea of how to simplify movement along the neck of the guitar by learning what I call the lateral pentatonic scale. The lateral pentatonic scale is going to focus on the idea of 1, 3. So first finger, third finger. We're really just going to focus on taking the idea of 1, 3 and moving it up to make a complete scale. So we're going to start off, let's start off on our 3rd fret. We'll play first finger on the 3rd fret of the E string, 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the E string, on the A string, first finger on the 3rd fret, 3rd finger on the 5th fret. Now I want you to slide that 3rd finger up 2 frets. So let's try this beginning again. 1, 3, 1, 3, slide up 2 frets. Our first finger, while we're anchoring that 3rd finger, our first finger will now go to the 5th fret of the D string, and then again 3. Next string, 1, 3. We're going to slide up 2 frets. Now we're just going to shift up 1 fret higher with our first finger. So now our first finger is going to go to the 8th fret of the B string, and we're going to do that 1, 3, 1, 3 pattern again. So this is pretty cool. We started on the 3rd fret, and we made our way all the way up to the 10th fret. And all we really did was use our first finger and our 3rd finger. So let's try this again. Starting on the 3rd fret, 1, 3, 1, 3, slide up 2 frets, 1, 3, 1, 3 on the next 2 strings, slide up 2 frets. Now remember, we're just going to go up 1 fret higher on the B string to the 8th fret, and then 1, 3, 1, 3 again. Let's give that all a shot. Alright, that's the first part of our lateral pentatonic scale. Okay, let's learn the second part of that lateral pentatonic scale. We're still going to stay in the same key. We'll start off with what we know already. Now, we're still looking at this idea of just 1 3 1 3. Let's go up to the 10th fret of the A string. First finger. And guess what's next? 1 3 1 3, right? We're going to shift up 2 frets. And then we're going to play 1 3. Just going to stop there though. So we'll try that again. Now we're going to shift up just 1 fret on the B string, and we're going to play 1 3. We're going to shift up again 2 frets, and then 1 3. Alright, so we'll do this slowly. Alright, so with our first finger on the 10th fret of the A string, we'll go 1 3. Moving to the D string, 1 3. With that third finger, we're just going to slide up 2 frets. Now going to the G string, 1 3. Now, on the B string, we're just going to go up 1 fret. So now we are on the 13th fret of the B string. We'll play 1 3. Slide up 2 frets. And then on the E string, 1 3 again on the 15th and the 17th frets. Let's try putting that whole thing together. Check that out. You just played from the 3rd fret all the way up to the 17th fret on your guitar. That's pretty incredible. That's covering a lot of ground. Now, as we moved along, we're passing through a lot of different scale patterns. But we did it in a really musical way that allows us to quickly get around the neck of the guitar. You're going to see as you progress on the guitar, that's going to make things a lot easier. We did that all with the simple principle of 1 3, a very simple shape.